Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I realise I'm just a minute late. I do apologise. But before we get started, if you do have a pen and paper handy, please take note of our reservations telephone number just at the bottom of the screen there, along with our website. So the number is 1300 938 534. And our website is railbookers.com.au. So if you do have any questions throughout the presentation, please make sure you put them in the question box. Happy to answer those, but it will be at the end of this presentation. So I'd like to introduce myself to start off with. My name is Charlene, and I'm one of the business development executives here with Railbookers. And today, for about the next half hour or so, I'm going to take you through some of our pre and post cruise options, rail itineraries to get you beyond the port cities when you go cruising. But I'd love to know at the moment, if you want to test out this little question box here, what destinations are you thinking about for your next holiday? I realise that at the moment, 2021 Australia, we're very stuck in terms of domestic, but maybe you've got some dream destinations internationally for 2022 or beyond. Put those in the question box. I'd love to hear them. Maybe I've got some hints and tips for you. Absolutely. So what I see a lot of in terms of the mentions does seem to be domestic right now. And of course, that is where we can go, our own backyard. And we realise that's been a little bit haphazard with the border closures and everything. But I think moving forward, now the vaccines are out, we should see a little bit more stability and hopefully a little bit of hope for 2022 international. Oh, fantastic, Neville. Yeah, Canada, New Zealand, I love them. And such scenic destinations. So yes, certainly New Zealand is somewhere I love. I've got relatives over there. The South Island is gorgeous and it is particularly great for cruising, I know, but it also has some really great rail journeys. So there are 3 excellent rail journeys in New Zealand. You should keep an eye out, and in the near future we will do an Australia and New Zealand presentation. So we'll cover that off. And of course, Canada, yes, Canada has closed its waterways for cruising, which is very frustrating. Obviously, we can't go right now, but they're closed till February 2022, I should say. So we're seeing a lot of people, particularly in America, that are trying to get the likes of Alaska, and they can't go through Canadian waterways. So when we're doing trips for them in the US, they're actually flying in, catching rail, doing the Alaska Railroad, doing those Canadian rail journeys like the Rocky Mountaineer as well. Fabulous. So yeah, we're thinking about it. I think we all dream of going on a holiday soon, and hopefully we can help you out with some great ideas today. So today, what I really want to do is hone in on those great add-on itineraries for you all, wishing that you can cruise again, once again across the world, but extending the holidays out and visiting some locations beyond the ports that I mentioned. And we can help you out with that because Railbookers, well, we do sell the world when it comes to rail vacations. We're part of the Yankee Leisure Group family of brands, and we sell destinations such as Canada, Europe, Asia, South Africa, USA, as well as Australia and New Zealand. And it's not just the rail that we book. We actually offer a one-stop shop booking experience for you. So like any vacation package you might have booked in the past, our packages include everything from the trains with the seat reservations, you've got hotels, sightseeing, transfers, and so much more. And one of the biggest benefits that you actually have with us is the ability to book rail 24 months in advance. So you don't need to wait. Just like you've come to expect the likes of the cruises and the coach tours out there, we actually can do the rail 2 years in advance. And we have all the direct rail partnerships worldwide to make that happen. So we go direct to source. We go to the revenue teams of those rail companies, and therefore we get the prices and the schedules so far in advance compared to our competition. And you can use our services to get you to some amazing bucket list destinations. And it has the freedom and the flexibility to book when and where you want to go. So you're not going to be locked into any specific dates or itineraries. We can customise all the arrangements for you. And when you give us a call, we only have an average hold time of 3 seconds. You get through to one of our rail expert team, and they're able to provide you with an instant quote. So all our team, we are rail experts. We know because we go on those trains, and we can offer you the first-hand knowledge. For myself, particularly, I know I've done a lot of Europe over the sort of 20 years I've been traveling, going out, using the trains, particularly in Northern Europe and Eastern Europe. I've done a lot of the UK, but then beyond that, Australia I've done, New Zealand, USA, Canada, and my colleagues are very much the same. We are very well travelled. And all the arrangements that you make with us are stress-free. Taking the train means that you can sit back, relax, take in full views, have the room to roam. You can get out of the seat, you can visit the cafe, the observatory car, you can stretch your legs, and unlike flying, the rail stations are central in all the destinations. So you're not going to travel in and out of town for hours. Check-in luggage do the same at the other end, very much like a flight. You will be central with the rail station. So it really comes with that level of convenience. And all the while, you do have 24-hour support from our global network of offices. So we have our office based here in Sydney. As well as that, there are 2 offices in the US. We've got one in Canada and one in the UK. So it covers all the time zones for you. Now, I mentioned we can customize, we can tailor make your holidays. So if you see something that is similar to what you want, rest assured we can amend it as necessary. Our experts are happy to add on any destination. They can adjust an itinerary to make it a round trip, book a trip in reverse, as well as look at alternative hotels to suit your needs and budget. And if you are keen to travel, I will let you know that right now, this week, we have a sale on. So great time to lock in your trip for 2022 because you can save up to $500 per couple, depending on the length of your journey. So this week, it does end this Friday, so do make sure you get in quickly and book up and take advantage of these savings. And to also put your mind at ease a little bit, if you are keen to travel in the next 2 years, then you do have this offer in place. It's a maximum flexibility offer. So any new and existing reservations can change travel dates or cancel up to 5 days prior to departure without any fees. And this is in place until the end of this quarter. We are in the process of reassessing that. It may be extended out, but at the moment it's up until the 31st of March. And I know that you're keen to see these itineraries, so let's kick off right now with one of my very favourites. This is Bergen, Plum and Oslo. So this is Norway. 4 days, and it really does have that true essence of Norway, a very scenic journey through some magical fjords, snow-capped mountains and historical towns. So we start off in Bergen. It's a very lively city there. You get to discover all its small town charm, its nautical history and its friendly atmosphere. And then from Bergen, you set out on a spectacular ferry ride through the UNESCO World Heritage listed Norøy Fjord. It's actually one of the narrowest, but it is the narrowest fjord in the world. You arrive then into this beautiful town called Plum, and Plum you'll stay overnight and then board the world famous Plum Railway for an unforgettable ride through snow-capped mountains and dramatic waterfalls and lush valleys. You get to spend a final night then in Oslo. So cosmopolitan city, capital city of Norway. It adds a dash of excitement and culture to complete this memorable journey through Norway itself. Great journey to add on if you are doing the likes of the Hurtigruten cruise. I've done that down the Norwegian coastline coming to Bergen and done this journey myself. I've actually done it twice, both through summer and winter. So any time of the year is a great time to travel on this particular trip because you'd see very different scenery. If you get the sun, which lasts a very long time, obviously you get very long sunlight through the summer, very green and lush, and then through the winter, all the snow. It just makes it quite magical. So whilst in Bergen, obviously you've got the nautical history there. You get to explore the region. It's got some really beautifully coloured wooden huts along the harbour, which you can see in this image here. My personal recommendation for Bergen is to check out the fish markets there for an early lunch. And whilst on the journey you're going to be doing on the Plum Railway, you get to admire all the mountain scenery. And in Oslo, you'll be taking that trip, going through some fabulous museums, some architecture, When you go to Oslo, I particularly recommend the Viking Museum and the Plum Museum, and also the Opera House. So the Opera House is on the harbour. It's a modern architecture opera house, well worth checking out. There's a Holmenkollen ski jump for views, and also some rather risque sculptures in the Vigeland Park. So Oslo offers a lot more than you would expect, but this journey itself is absolutely brilliant. So Plum Railway, the Norroy Fjord, well worth checking out. Our next one is our Grand Paris, Munich, and Berlin. It's a 7-day journey taking in, really the highlights of France and Germany. Great opportunity for linking up then to a river cruise of sorts you could do from Germany. Many river cruises leave from there, and Berlin being the perfect place to sort of start that. So this is a journey that you're going to enjoy some top-notch accommodations. You've got priority access to the city's top attractions. You've got hop-on, hop-off tickets and included city cars. And then between the destinations, you've got the high-speed rail. So it's really direct rail in Europe, and it has the ultimate in comfort and convenience. In Paris, well, Paris, obviously, city of love, city of lights. You will discover all the famous landmarks there with the inclusive Paris Pass. So you get to skip the line and visit the lights of the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre. And then you've got the hop-on, hop-off bus tour in Munich. So you get to explore the rich culture and architecture there. And you can perhaps enjoy a beer at the famous opera house. And then in Berlin, you'll have a city card to see all the iconic sites of the historic city. So it is one of the easiest cities to get around, particularly Berlin, great trains, underground, you've got great buses there, you get to see the views, the likes of the Brandenburg Gate, or you want to check out, Checkpoint Charlie Museum. That's all included in that city card. Our next one is the Grand Berlin, Prague, Vienna, and Budapest. It's 9 days in length, so you get to discover all 4 imperial capital cities on one fantastic holiday by train. So you travel through Germany, the Czech Republic, Austria, and Hungary by high-speed rail, and take in all the wonderful views whilst you're en route. And with the city passes, the hop-on, hop-off tours, the skip-the-line passes, and all the other exciting extras, you will get the most out of your stays in these wonderful destinations. So really good way to do it. If you want to be independent, have your own time, we can put it all together, as I said, hotels, rail, and sightseeing. Now, of course, this trip allows you to unearth all the hidden treasures and famous sites of the 4 European capital cities. So we will have the sort of really efficient rail services in Europe. You'll enjoy the travel. And in Berlin, you do have a half-day guided walking tour to discover both the past and present German capital. In Prague, you'll have time to sample some of its most delicious dishes. We actually have a secret food tour there for you. You'll enjoy a candlelit dinner on the Danube River and have a full day access to steam rooms, saunas, and spring-fed baths in the spa location that is Budapest. So lots of highlights on this particular trip. Another one that's great for pre and post cruise, you can do it in either direction, but what we've got here today is the London, Paris, and Bordeaux. So if you are joining a river cruise from that sort of wine region of France, this could be a great one to do pre-tour. And it is 7 days in length, so you begin this with 2 nights in London, discover all the best sites and the attractions of the iconic capital city. Obviously, it's famed for its wonderful museums and the royal attractions, so London really does offer something for everyone. Then you're going to get on Eurostar, go under that English Channel there, and head into Paris, and you can treat yourself to all the charms of this beautiful city. So you've got the Eiffel Tower, as I mentioned, there's the famed tree-lined Champs-Élysées, and then finally you'll enjoy a lovely train ride through the south to Bordeaux. So you get to have 2 more nights there, getting to know that world-famous wine region. Now, whilst in London, there are the iconic sites, as I mentioned. There's the Houses of Parliament, the Buckingham Palace, Westminster Abbey, the Hyde Park, and the London Eye to See, and you'll be doing that whilst you stay in centrally located accommodation. So you can make your way very easily around all those places. And Paris, well, it's the city of lights, as I mentioned. So you get to enjoy accommodations that are surrounded by all the glittering sights there. And then you've got the delicious wine and rustic beauty of Bordeaux to soak up. So it is a perfect way to start a vacation, and locations really do make it perfect for a pre-cruise tour. Our next one is actually probably a bestseller when it comes to the region of sort of Central Europe. It is our Scenic Switzerland from Basel. So great opportunity to do it pre and post. As I said, with the river cruises, a lot of them leaving or starting in, or leaving or arriving into Basel. Obviously, a location that is right in sort of between the borders of France, Germany, and Switzerland. So it is a pretty eclectic city, I will say, in Basel. And so you start this off, it's 9 days, as I said, started off and go on a 2-night stay in Grand St. Marit's. You get to take a ride on board the Benina Express train there, and you will take in the spectacular Glacier Express train to historical Zermatt. You'll have 2 nights there where you get to enjoy the iconic Matterhorn mountain via the Gornegrat Cog Railway, and then travel to the lakeside town of Montreux, have a relaxing night there before continuing your journey along the Golden Pass line to the traditional Swiss town of Lucerne. Lucerne's absolutely gorgeous. I love spending time there, and there are so many activities to do from there. So the 3 nights will be well used up. You've got day trips on the world's steepest cog rail line, going to Mount Pilatus, and also you'll have a trip out to the highest railway station in Europe, which is the Jungfrau Railway. So the Jungfrau Joch, as you can see here on the map. Now, this particular journey is really popular for a really good reason. It does have 2 amazing train trips. The first one is the Benina Express. So you get to travel in panoramic sightseeing cars from Chur and St. Moritz in eastern Switzerland, just down south to a place called Tirana, which is just across the border into northern Italy. And if you've ever seen pictures of trains that sort of go along viaducts and around, sort of, you've got those spirals, those viaducts and the spirals, well, that is a very good chance that you're looking at the Benina. So the Benina has 55 tunnels and 196 bridges on this train trip, and the railway is actually declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site, so it is quite special indeed. But the other one that we love to talk about, and it is very popular, is the Glacier Express. So this is a really panoramic journey. It takes you through the Swiss Alps, kicking off in St. Moritz, obviously the playground of the rich and famous, and it goes on to Zermatt, which is the home to the world's most photographed mountain, the Matterhorn. It does wind through a lot of idyllic mountain villages. You've got steep rock faces. It does create an amazing view into some deep gorges and outlying valleys, glaciers, and also the Rhine Gorge. And the Rhine Gorge is Switzerland's sort of answer to the Grand Canyon, so quite stunning indeed. And whilst you're on this itinerary, you're going to have ample time as well to explore a number of cities in Switzerland. So these are just a couple of highlights. Up at the top there, you've got Lucerne. That's actually the Lucerne Bridge over the Lake Lucerne. It was built back in the sort of Middle Ages, and it has all these paintings along the roof, so it is quite pretty to do that journey. And you also have Zermatt, which is one of those postcard perfect villages. It's car free, it's almost entirely surrounded by mountains, and it really is one of those true alpine gems. And then finally, St. Moritz. So it is the luxury alpine resort town, really famous for the celebrities it attracts, and it also hosted the Winter Olympics twice. Great for outdoor activities. You've got ski runs and skating there during the winter, and during the summer you can do some hiking and spa treatments as well. So a beautiful journey through Switzerland, great one to add on either pre and post cruise on a river cruise. When it comes to ocean cruising, a lot of people like to go to the Mediterranean, so this could be a great journey for you to add on. This is Granada and Madrid from Barcelona. It's 5 days in length, so a nice little short journey where you get to visit the Spanish capital and also the timeless treasures of Granada. So you've got the rail adventure from Barcelona. It is the perfect post-cruise vacation. I feel that post, get to explore places that are a little bit away from those ports. So you get to visit the amazing Alhambra Palace and also discover the secrets of Granada before enjoying the 2 nights in that Spanish capital, Madrid. Granada. Well, Granada is the home of flamenco. So what we've done there is included a ticket to see a show with some of the best dancers in Spain, but you've also got the Alhambra Palace. So you get to know all about its layers of history in the Alhambra Palace. It's built over some time, obviously Moorish architecture. And then in Madrid, you get to enjoy some delicious tapas on the major town square, which is Plaza Mayor. And also you will have a visit to the vast Prado Museum included as well. Our next one, again, sticking with the Mediterranean and sort of those Mediterranean coast cruises, we have our Venice, Florence, and Rome to Civitavecchia. So Civitavecchia being the port city that you leave from, they use that for Rome normally. So this is a great add-on for that if you do want to get into the internal area of Italy, particularly to see Florence. So this one, you get to do this all on a great rail vacation. You get to encounter some of the highlights of Italy as you explore the canals and the architecture of Venice, as well as the history of Florence before you continue on to Rome. So lots of opportunity to see the Colosseum, the Vatican, and the wonders of the Eternal City as you discover that the capital of Rome. Now in Venice, obviously beautiful canals there, so you will learn all about the fascinating history as you explore, and you get to see it from that other perspective during a gondola ride along the canals. There's also a small group walking tour included in beautiful Florence, home to lots of works of art there. You also see some really beautiful architecture. And then you get to admire the treasures of the Vatican and Sistine Chapel on another small group tour. And finally get to explore ancient Rome with a guided tour of Colosseum and the Roman Forum. So that's all included in this particular itinerary. So you can see we do really put together some great trips pre and post cruise, so you can consider those, but we have many, many more to check out on our website, railbookers.com.au. But I'd just like to remind you what we do offer you in terms of service. So we do have that 24-hour support from our global offices. It is the chance to travel stress-free. You can travel in comfort with freedom and flexibility to tailor-make your next holiday. And rail is a really scenic and relaxing way to go. So you can have that room to roam and get to the heart of the destinations. Now, I will open up for questions. I realise we do have some questions coming in through the presentation. I'll just wrap back to those. But if you do have any questions now, put them in the question box. I'll be happy to answer those. Absolutely. So these are all independent trips. So just a question here about how we do these. These are all independent trips. Europe doesn't really have overnight rail journeys. So what we do is we organise the day trains for you as they fit in with your schedule. So there may be many journeys a day that we could book, whether it be morning, afternoon, evening. Hotels and sightseeing, that is what we can supply you. So if you do want to tailor make this, add on an extra day, that is absolutely possible for you. Excellent. And no, we don't charge any extra to customise any of our itineraries. It's just the cost of what the journey takes itself. So we do have these trips available right now to quote. And if you do want to tailor make something, then we will be able to do that the same day for you. We can put it all together. It just takes a little bit longer because we wouldn't have it loaded in the system directly. Excellent. Are there any further questions? No, that's okay. Absolutely. As I said, we do have our sale on at the moment. So if you are looking to book something, then you can save up to $500 per couple on any of our rail journeys that are 10 nights or more. And of course, some discounts for shorter journeys as well. And this applies for international trips as well as Australia. So if you're looking for something like the Ghan or the Indian Pacific, If you want to take a trip up the coast of Queensland, we can do all that for you, and we will apply those discounts as they see fit with the dates, in terms of the dates. So do keep in mind we have that sale on. Give us a call by the end of this week. And we also have our maximum flexibility offer in play. So that's still until the 31st of March. So you will be able to reschedule or change your travel dates without any fees or cancellation fees, any change fees. Excellent. So I do thank you very much for joining me here today. Of course, give us a call if you do have any questions, and visit our website, railbookers.com.au, and check out our full range of what we offer. We have many more. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I hope to see you on future webinars, but in the meantime, take care and have a great day.